Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Gino from Impress Media, and today I'm gonna talk about 5 things that'll take your music videos to the next level. Let's go. Tip number 1, adding slow motion and B-roll shots to your video. A lot of times I see beginner videos and they have no B-roll or no slow motion shots. You just see a lot of shots of the artist performing a song. And if there's no B-roll or slow motion shots, it really make your video look low budget and bootleg, honestly. So you want to implement slow motion and B-roll to your shots. Also, you want to make sure you're shooting your footage the correct way. If you're shooting anything slow motion, you want to shoot at 60 frames per second or above. Also, whenever you're shooting, your shutter speed has to be twice your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 60 frames per second, your shutter speed has to be 120. If you're shooting at 120 frames per second, your shutter speed needs to be 1/240, and so on. Another thing that I see that beginners do that really make their videos look low budget is they slow down their footage the wrong way. A lot of times when beginners want to slow down their footage, they just turn down the percentage on the speed, but that is not the right way to do it. What you want to do is you want to interpret your footage from being 60 frames per second to 24 frames per second. And the correct way to do that is by interpreting your footage. The easy way to do it is select all the clips that 60 frames or above, and you want to right click on them, go to modify, interpret footage, and you want to change your frame rate from whatever the footage is or whatever the frame rate is to 23.976. Once you do that and you go back and play the footage, this footage is going to be played in slow motion. And this is the correct way to shoot it. So first thing you want to do is shoot at 60 frames per second or higher. Next, you want to make sure your shutter speed is twice your frame rate. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you interpret all your footage. So shooting slow motion the correct way and adding slow-mo and B-roll to your shots will automatically take your videos to the next level. Tip number 2, planning out your transitions. Transitions has become like so popular in the video world nowadays, and I see a lot of people like get on set and they just shoot without planning the transition, and then when it's time to edit the video, it's like they just have to make up transitions. I find it a lot easier when you plan your transitions on set. In this shot, I had her throw her fleece into the camera. This shot, I had him kick the camera so I could go into the next shot. In this shot, I had him walk past the camera and I masked him out so that he can reveal the next shot. So every shot that you've seen just now, I actually planned those shots out on set so that when I got back to the table to edit it, it was a whole lot easier. Tip number 3, learning how to direct the artist. I'm really a quiet person. I'm not really a loud person. People call me quiet, but in the video world, I had to learn how to speak up. I had to learn how to get big crowds to do what I want them to do. And in order to be a good director, you have to be good at explaining to people what you want them to do. Keep your head, don't lean on the thing. Yes, right there. You ready? 3, 2, action.
Yo, it's time to wrap this up.
A lot of times when I want somebody to do a specific thing and they don't understand what I'm talking about, I would get out there and I would do it myself. Sometimes even humiliate myself just so that the artist can be comfortable and they won't mind doing the same thing that I just did, you know. Sometimes you have to break the ice, you have to get everybody comfortable, you have to know how to explain things to people, and you have to be patient too. Being comfortable with your directing or knowing how to talk to somebody or knowing how to get somebody to do what you want them to do will really take your videos to the next level. Tip number 4, seeing the location before shoot day. A lot of people will pull up to a location and start shooting and they never seen the location before. And I really feel like this really makes it so hard to get things going or to get started. It takes so much longer to get started. If it's okay with the studio or wherever you're renting or the location that you're at, try to go there a day before so you can see what's really there, you know, because a lot of times on Peerspace, when you look at locations, the location looks so much better on Peerspace. It looks a lot bigger. And sometimes when you get there, it's just not what you expected. So one of the biggest tips is going to the location before the shoot day. You know, understand the location, try to plan out some things. Never pull up to a location or never pull up to a shoot with no plan. You know, even if it's like a video where you just shooting, you know, and it's been plenty of times where I pulled up to videos where I just shot the video and I didn't have a plan. But once I got there, it's like, man, if I would have been here a little earlier, if I would have saw this, or if I would have did this would have came out a whole lot better. So like one of the biggest things I can tell you, one of the one of the biggest tips is actually getting out and seeing the location. Tip number 5, focused shots. It's nothing worse than a blurry shot. People focus on different camera movements. They want to focus on getting a better camera. They want to get better lenses, lighting, all this, that, and the third, but you don't even know how to make a clear shot. Focus your shots. Make sure your shots are sharp, clean, focused, and that will take your videos to the next level alone. Like, it's nothing worse than a blurry shot. I'm telling you, like, but you want to make sure that your shots are in focus, everything's clean, your lighting is on point, and that alone, you know, without effects, without adding green screen, without adding 3D elements to your video, that alone will make your videos look so much professional. Because, you know, a lot of times people just don't even have clean shots, and you want to learn how to do effects and you want to learn green screen, but you can't even get the original shot to look crispy. So focus on learning how to get really good clean shots, and learn your camera. Learn what the shutter speed do, learn what your ISO do, learn what your frame rates do. Learn about your white balance. You know what I'm saying? All cameras have those 4 things, and once you learn those 4 things, like, you can pick up any camera and get started. Yes, I would say have focused shots. Make sure your shots are sharp, make sure they're crispy. And also, you don't want to have your f-stop at the lowest it can go. If you're shooting with a lens with a 1.8 f-stop, you know, it's kind of hard to keep things in focus that way, you know. So me personally, if my lens is a 1.8, I'm gonna try to shoot like 2 stops above that. So I'm gonna shoot at like a 3, or maybe like a 2 at a 2.5 at the lowest, but 3 and f-stop of 4, you know, you can still get some really nice shots. But if you want to shoot with a lower f-stop, or you want to have a really blurry background, just make it to where the subject is not moving as much. Also, use a tripod. Use a tripod and then move in post. You know what I'm saying? You can do like slow motion zooms and stuff like that. So yeah, so like I say, having focused shots will really take your videos to the next level. All right, so if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, comment. And if there's anything that you guys want us to go over, please leave it in the comments. Please subscribe. It's gonna keep us motivated to make more videos. And if you wanna learn about camera movements and angles that'll help sell or tell your story, click this video right here, and we'll see you in the next video.